grace, balance, pressure.
Today is big. B1G big.
All in the chase for perfection.
That is a statement.
Women's gymnastics in the B1G sets a new standard of excellence.
What a walk off the floor! Oh, that was amazing.
Packed arenas, history-making moments.
For the first time ever, Michigan State is your Big Ten Women's Gymnastics champion.
And Olympic champions.
Jordan Child, I'll tell you what, she delivers over and over again.
The ability of these world-class athletes will leave you speechless.
Stuck double back. That was incredible.
All the amplitude, all the agility, all the athleticism. On the Beam offers a front row seat to this elite showcase of athletic talent.
There's a lot of good gymnastics to be had.
Bypassing the velvet rope to provide an unprecedented view of the people and personalities who make Big Ten gymnastics best in class.
You talk about a showstopper, Skyla Schulte is a showstopper.
She loves this team and competing so much. It's been a blast watching her.
I remember when she was being recruited, and we brought her up here. It was an unofficial visit, and she got the offer. I wanted to say yes immediately. We made her sleep on it. And the next morning we got up, and she had written on a little piece of paper next to her nightstand when she went to bed, "Forever a Spartan."
My parents went to Michigan State. They met here in the dorms, and my dad was a wrestler.
Wrestling, I think it's one of the greatest sports on the planet. It's you against another man. It has lots of similarities with gymnastics, meaning you need to be headstrong and physically fit.
You need to have a good work ethic. You have to be relentless.
The two sports, pound for pound, these are the strongest athletes around. If you were to told me to describe gymnastics 18 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to, but it's one of the most beautiful things there is, right?
Just when you think you've seen Skyla at her best, and I know she can even do better, I don't know where that would come from right now. There comes a point where you don't know what to say, because you're like, dang, that was hot, that was your best, that was great, that was amazing, congratulations. I was like, yeah, that again. You know, you did it again.
My dad's super loud, and sometimes he's like leading chants and I don't even notice. I'm like in my own world, but then later on I'm like, what is he doing?
In club, we had to sign forms that said, dads, moms, you can't be loud, you can't cheer loud or you'll get deducted. In college, you're all team. We're all cheering together, we're all sitting in stands, we're trying to bring the energy. We wear our green and whites, our overalls. And so we started doing that as freshmen. Now I got all the parents wearing the overalls, so. For big meets, I used to write little notes to her. And then senior year, I just said, hey, champ, just have fun, go out there and do it.
Last year, we were fortunate enough to be able to host the Big Ten Championship here in East Lansing.
Oh my goodness! Bravo!
They were all cylinders that day. They were shining so bright, and to see their faces after each event, That was a memory I think we'll all hold forever. It was so special.
And that's it!
For the first time ever, Michigan State is your Big Ten Women's Gymnastics champion with a 197.6.
And then, you know, for Skyla to win it all, it was pretty amazing.
Congratulations, the all-around champion, Skyla Schulte.
She was just lit. She's a gamer. And to see her go out there on her turf and just claim it was so exciting and so thrilling.
Just awesome. Nerves of steel. She stuck everything, the team. You're bringing tears to my eyes.
Being a Spartan means I get to carry on a legacy. Family is everything. It's everything we ever talked about and ever dreamed of, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
Friday night, March 31st of 2023 was one of the most incredible routines I've ever witnessed in my entire coaching career. Think about this. For a 19-year-old, what are the greatest moments in your life to this point? Graduating high school, earning a college scholarship, competing at an NCAA championship round 2, and sticking a perfect dismount has got to be in the top 2, if not number 1. But to have that moment simultaneous with undoubtedly the worst moment that she's ever had to go through, I just told her that looking forward, there's nothing that you can't handle in life.
Tasha is the type of person that when she walks into a room, everyone smiles because she's just such a genuine person. I was actually 6 when my parents met, and my dad actually adopted me. But he's kind of been the only father figure I've ever known, so it's been really special.
He spent 24 years total in the military, 8 years in the Marine Corps, had 4 deployments overseas. When she got the scholarship to Maryland, Patrick was like, oh my gosh, I'm a D1 athlete. Oh my gosh, in gymnastics. Like, he did not know what to think or feel. Like, he just was so excited. And every time we'd come here, he was like a kid in a candy store.
He's big. I mean, he's big. He is a big guy. He is tall and strong. But when you see him give Tasha a hug, he's a teddy bear.
After leaving the military, he missed the camaraderie, the brotherhood. And we ended up finding the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. We were on our way home from a state chapter meeting, and then I heard a very loud pop. We just slid and we rolled, and then I woke up with 4 people standing over me, and Patrick was at my feet.
The tire actually blew out, and he reached behind him and gave her like a big bear hug, kind of as his last like heroic act, because he knew they were gonna fall. He basically saved her life. He unfortunately suffered really bad injuries to the head and spine. A couple days before we leave for regionals, and we weren't sure what was happening, and the doctors weren't really sure.
We traveled up to Pittsburgh the day before our competition. I remember my assistant coach, Aaron, kind of pulling the staff aside and saying, hey, we're getting a phone call from Liz Brzezowski, Tasha's mom. She told us that Tasha's father, Patrick, he wasn't going to make it, and she wanted us to be around her when she heard the news. We pulled Tasha out, and I just remember all four of us just sitting in the hallway of the hotel on the floor, crying and sobbing.
It was unimaginable. All you wanted to do was just hug her and never let her go, and hope that we could take some of her pain away.
The next morning, we are in our meeting room again for breakfast, and it's just silent. And Tasha walks in the room and says, "I'm competing today for my father." And the room lit up, and all of her teammates, you know, the smiles came back, and they hugged her, and you know, then we knew it was on.
She wanted to come home. She wanted to come and be by her dad's side, and I said, that's not what he'd want. It's your decision, but I think your dad would want you to compete. Do it for him.
I remember watching her during the national anthem, and the tears are starting to come down her face. We go through our pre-routine speech. She looks strong, and I feel like she can do this. She begins the routine, and it's great.
Something about every movement of her routine, how it was just flowing so effortlessly, you could tell that there was something greater behind that routine.
All she has left in the dismount, I see her moving the giants, and as she releases the bar, it's perfect. You saw the joy on her face, and then instantly you also saw the overwhelming emotion begin to hit her. I grabbed her as tightly as I could, and I just said, he saw it. He saw the whole thing. He was with you that whole routine, and he's so proud of you.
It was overwhelming. Like, there was so much emotion. It was like, the feeling is something that I like get goosebumps thinking about it still. The night wasn't over yet, so we get back to the hotel, and my dad had an honor walk planned.
Patrick was donating his body and organs to the VA. They do a walk of honor.
There are about 75 CVMA members from all over the state. You could barely move down the hallway because there were people just lined up in the hallway.
We watched that as a team, and they kind of all just like laid a hand on me. We were all watching the video, and everyone was just like, I don't think there was a dry eye in that room.
Captain Patrick Brzezowski. Rest in peace, Marine.
For us, when we think of team, we think of family. I think that word gets thrown around a lot, but family impacts everything we do. It's the fabric of our culture, the way we treat each other, the way we train. And it's all based on being there for one another.
Due to time constraints, we'll move ahead in the action after this commercial break.
More Marcos.
Last season was the best season of my entire gymnastics career. I found tactics that work for me in the gym and how I can transfer that over to competition. Whenever I learned how to finally slow myself down and take it one step at a time is when I found everything really worked for me.
Last year, she did 38 routines without a fall.
Emily performs a Yurchenko 1.5 twist. Has she figured out that vault?
It's crazy. I think it's crazy, but it's realistic. I'm impressed by the number, but I'm not impressed by her doing that, because I know she can.
It was unlike anything I've ever done before. I was just always super excited to compete, just to be out there and just do what I do every single day.
This routine so far has been pretty near flawless.
It was the day before Big Ten championships and we were at Michigan State. The week prior, I was having a little bit of Achilles pain, but I didn't think of it as anything serious because I've never had Achilles problems before. And it was the practice day. I took 2 warm-up turns and then I landed and I was kind of sitting there. I was like, that's not right. I remember looking up and I just saw all my teammates with their hands like on their head.
I was on the sidelines and I just couldn't contain myself. I had tears going down my eyes and I had to turn around and just, it was just like a really tough moment that day.
They told me that I had ruptured the Achilles tendon and I would need surgery as soon as I got back from Michigan. I was really nervous. I never had surgery before. It was a whole different ballgame for me. I never even had an actual injury before this. It was a really hard thing to accept at the beginning.
3, 2, and 1. Perfect.
I went to rehab 5 days a week, and anything that they cleared me to do, I was there. I was doing it. I haven't done these for a while. Yeah. My dad always taught me mental toughness growing up when I was little. I didn't fully appreciate it until I got older and realized what you really need to have to be successful in this sport. I'm convinced that's what got me through it. There were still a lot of limitations. I was allowed to be in the gym doing a few things on the trampoline every now and then. I was just so excited that I could actually do something again, and it just brought a lot of happiness. I have been hesitant with a lot of skills that I've been doing, and I talk to my coaches and I tell them, and they kind of pull me aside, they help me reset. I just kept having to remind myself to be patient and also learning how to be kind to myself. I know gymnastics-wise it's going to be different, but as long as I can continue with the mental process that I have, I think that will let me have another really successful year. My scar actually is kind of weird. I was actually asked by my surgeon if I wanted to see a plastic surgeon to have it fixed, and I told her no, because if that's the way I healed, that's the way I was meant to heal, and it's just a reminder to me, like, everything I went through to get back to this point, and I'm kind of glad it's there. A battle scar.